But moving on and shifting focus to some of the earnings then airline major Interglobe Aviation has posted a solid set of numbers for this quarter gone by, wherein sequentially for the first quarter the profit has more than tripled to a little under 3,100 crores, while the revenue has jumped 18%. Meanwhile, EBITDA margin has improved to 29.1% from 17.6% in the previous quarter, and going forward the company said that it expects to increase their capacity as much as by 25% in the second quarter. So all in all, if we look at the numbers of Indigo, they are seen to be better than what we were working with on ET now. So let's try to get an understanding from the analyst itself that how are they looking at the numbers, and to guide us better we are being joined by Mahantesh Sabarad. Hi, very good afternoon Mahantesh, and thank you for your time to ET now. Firstly, the profit figure has definitely surprised onto the upper end. How do you look at the numbers? The company has clocked in a profit of 3,087 crores, while the guidance is there where they see their capacity expanding by 25% on a YOY basis, and that could be 6% sequential growth. So how are you looking at these numbers?
So these are very good numbers, primarily because the EBITDA margin, if you notice, is 31.2%. That's a great number in terms, even from an absolute point of view, it's close to 5,200. It's a very good number. Of course, the airline has been really doing well, aided by an improvement in the load factors. And despite cost increasing, the overall top line growth stemming from the ASKM growth, capacity deployment growth, has been pretty well managed and strong.
Okay, so Mahantesh, the take is that there are really great set of numbers, but especially when it comes to the stock price reaction. So for tomorrow, how do you see Indigo stock price reacting, especially in the near term, not just for tomorrow, because there's always an overhang that the promoter will be looking to offload his stake. So do you believe that that could keep the stock price movement under check? And what's your expectation on the result reaction?
So very difficult to say what the result reaction would be, but coming to the fact that there would be a supply of stocks or shares coming in through the promoter would normally depress a stock, and that should be the case as far as Indigo is concerned. Whenever that happens, not necessarily tomorrow. Having said that, the only bit of negative reaction which will make analysts recompute their numbers has to do with the overall pricing environment. You will notice that the difference between RASK and CASK, that is the revenue earned per ASKM, rupees per ASKM versus cost per ASKM, has actually narrowed quarter sequentially. That means the cost has grown faster than the price growth. That would mean a bit of recomputation of numbers going ahead. Despite the higher deployment numbers, that is capacity growth, this factor will weigh on the profitability as well as the revenue number going forward.
Okay, but Mahantesh, what's your take on the fuel prices as well? Because now, because since Indigo holds its leadership position, and every month we are getting to have good numbers, but this time specifically the cost lowering to the lower, that cost was actually lower on the back of the lower fuel cost. But in the international markets, we are once again seeing crude oil prices inching upwards. So going ahead, do you expect that the cost could be managed in a better fashion, or there could be some suppressions in the margins going ahead?
So when it comes to the overall cost for the airline, it's actually favorable from a year-on-year perspective on the fuel part. Where the cost has actually gone adverse is the other operating expenses, chiefly that's coming from such things as maintenance and rentals. Even employee cost is up. But irrespective, what is likely to happen as far as fuel prices are concerned, we will probably see fuel prices globally coming down as crude oil softens in the year ahead. And that should be quite favorable to the airline. But in airline business, and that's what we have also seen in this quarter, whatever is the extent of the fuel drop, is quickly passed on by the airlines, given there is also competitive intensity existing, particularly on the international route where Indigo is now becoming more active. So the advantage coming out of fuel price dropping may not necessarily translate into gains for the airline.
Okay, Mahantesh, thank you so much for jotting all those points for us. And let's see how the stock reacts. But for now, it's a great set of numbers. And with this, we'll let you go on that, Mahantesh.